guess I could dig it. How about you? Hey, Mark's Conte reporting. Good morning, everybody. Good morning on a Saturday. Let's try to make it 3 days in a row of getting chopped off the block. Oh, shit. 2 days in a row, man. Twice. What are we saying? The censorship is high. What is going on in this world? What is going on in this life where we're not allowed to speak anymore? Where out of nowhere, Big Brother steps in and says, no, free speech. No, so you remember that? That was from the past. That was the old days in America. We had free speech, but now we have to monetize the speech. If it's not monetized, then you can't speak. Whoever has the most money wins, right? Whoever has the most money can speak. I can speak. I'm Amazon. I have, because money is speech. And if you don't have a lot of money to give to me to use on my platform, then speech isn't really allowed. This is just a thing of the past, remember? So, but we're going to keep trying, man. We're going to try. We're here. We're still alive. Not all of us are still alive. You heard George Webb, the conspiracy theorist, George Webb. The guy who attacked me 800 times and his crazy psycho brother. She attacked me multiple times, so many times I can't even count, right? All those fucking freaks, right? George Webb, his site is gone. Wow. 4,000. I mean, I support his right to free speech, but I don't support his right to attack people with frivolous allegations and turn their lives upside down like George Webb likes to do. So now George Webb is sucking his own ass, right? Him and his retarded brother, the Port Neches bomber guy, Crazy Dave, still creeping around, right? So those guys are gone, but censorship is real, right? Are they gone? Are they gone because they're right wing kooks? I don't know. We'll take a look. I got a little info on that. We'll take a look at the web, and so censorship is real. Black Lives Matter is still. I don't know. It's starting to tilt now towards most people thinking it's a racist movement. Look at racist blacks telling whites how to act, how to be, what to say, where to be, what they can say, what they can't say. Right? That's what it is, right? Isn't that racism? Isn't that distinguishing? They have privilege. The white privileged people need to learn how to respect the black man. Isn't that racist? It's racist by nature. In this, in my view. And so even Pence has chirped in on it. I'll show you a little footage that I captured yesterday at the Black Lives Matter rally over in Washington Square Park, and that's really it. And the masked hysteria, fucking. The Surgeon General has flipped and flopped. The CDC has flipped and flopped. The WHO has flipped and flopped on the wearing of masks. We know the wearing of masks. Well, I guess we're not allowed to talk about it. So we're going to try to be safe, and we're going to just read what the gentlemen have said. We're not going to give an opinion. I'm not going to have an opinion on it, because an opinion means that you look down at your machine and your streamer, and suddenly it goes blank. And you're talking to yourself, and you're offline for having an opinion. And those are the times we live in. Those are the times, my friends, that we must document and we must acknowledge we are living in. Never has there been a time in America, at least in my lifetime, I'm sure there have been other times, but not in my lifetime, where speech was, if you read this platform, for example, if you read the rules of the road, the rules and regulations, the community guidelines. It tells you basically any opinion outside of the mainstream norm. I'm paraphrasing, but that's essentially what it's saying. If your opinion or your position if it differs from what the quote experts, what our experts suggest is correct, then you, my friend, are a fucking radical and need to be eliminated. You need to be silenced. You are a domestic terrorist. You are causing problems for everybody else, and we got to get rid of you. And those are some sick times. That's 1984. It's the thought police, thought control, and all that stuff. So, it's exciting. It's an exciting time to be alive. And how's my hair look? It feels feels pretty good. Right? It's fucking amazing. Right? We'll look at all this stuff, right? So we'll talk about those two idiots later on. So before we do that, Mark Conte, this site, this YouTube venture for now, and maybe not YouTube forever. That's why we're moving on to a website where we can connect onto other platforms and to see this venture through. It's a self-supporting venture through your contributions in the tip jar via PayPal and or Patreon, where you become a member of the movement of this channel, right? Wherever I go, wherever we go, wherever this thing lands. And so thank you very much. So I don't know what the hell this is. I was stumbling along, I guess Twitter, and it's just a fucking fascinating shot, man. I changed it a little bit in the thumbnail. I put the COVID virus, but it says Lysol vape kills COVID in less than a minute. Signed, Donald Trump. It may also kill you. I don't know. So I just thought it was funny, man. It's funny. It's humor, man. Somebody put some time together. And is Trump a vapor? I don't think so. So what is the moral of the story? What is the means by which to survive? Right? How do you survive in a climate where up is down and down is up, and it's a fucking mixed up, crazy world, and people are just eating each other, and the economies crash, and greed is epic. Greed leads the conversation. Who has the most money wins. 99% of the people bowing to the 1%. People saying and knowing that, then people turn around and say, "Oh, it's racist. Oh, those 1% are all whites, and therefore all whites have privilege." Meanwhile, the 1% pisses on the other 98%, 99% pisses right on their heads, and there's those in the 99% who will say, "Oh, it's racist," failing to acknowledge the fact that it's a financial conundrum, a monopoly, to understand what monopoly oligarchy is, where a few people control the board, right? But nonetheless, this guy, right? I was sitting there with my spy cam, right? My new spy cam. I was like fucking a half a block away, and I caught this guy, right? And this is the key to living, right? This guy's out on a sunny day. It's New York. He's out on the field, and he came up with his own way. This guy's obviously a gym bug, a guy who hangs out in gyms, right? But he found his own way to stay in tune. Watch this guy. It's a ball. I'm going to lower the volume because I think it's a lot of noise. There is no volume. But you see this guy, he's just like, he's got a ball, a tennis ball attached to his hat. And he's just boxing away, man. It's fucking awesome, man. Guy don't have a care in the world, right? He's inventing his own way of staying fit, and I've never seen anything like that. It's just a fascinating little guy's meditating on a tennis ball. It's like, yeah, it's boxing. There's an element of violence to it, but not really. It could also be just exercise. A lot of people, he's punching a ball, but pretty fascinating. I watched him for like a half an hour. I just caught a little clip through the fence. I didn't want him to see me filming him because people get conscious. But anyway, it's not only meditative for him, but it's meditative to watch. This is down on the East River, by the way. People are out and about, man. They're having a good time, man. People are out. They're biking. They're laying in the sun again. There's fitness on the track. So this is on the east side, East Village, maybe East 6th Street, on the other side of the FDR. There's a little park over there. You can't. It's not accessible through cars. You have to either walk or take a bike across the traffic. And I was walking. I was just sitting there and minding my own business, watching that guy, man. So let's talk about this Surgeon General, this guy Adams. It's going to be a mellow video, a mellow stream today. I'm not that excited. Let's just chill out. Let's just try to get through this without getting knocked offline again, right? Attacked, right? By just saying things that everybody wants to hear. Right? Are we still alive? Give me a 1 if we're still even here, man. I don't know. 14 minutes in, did they chop us already? Just give me a couple of 1s. 2 if I'm not here. 1 if I'm here. 2 if I'm not here. So a long time ago, in a planet not far away, this gentleman, his name is the Surgeon General James Adams, I think his name is, and he was basically telling the truth. The Surgeon General was telling the truth. Jerome Adams, excuse me. Serious people, stop buying masks. They are not effective in preventing general public from catching COVID-19, coronavirus. But if health providers can't get them to care for sick patients, it puts them, our communities, at risk. So it was a 180. The guy was speaking the truth. He also said, I saw other pieces that said that breathing in your own air is very bad. It releases like a cortisone of some sort. This guy was on the record saying all this stuff. He also said that wearing masks has an effect on dental health. That's the first time I heard that, right? Where people are covering their mouths, and for some reason it has an adverse effect on. Thank you very much for the 1s. I hear you. I'm glad you hear me. I hear you. I see you, and you hear me. Good. So anyway, he's doing a 180, right? So what happened? What changed? What changed, right? Remember even the CDC, the Center for Disease Control, confirmed that asymptomatic transmission is very rare. Remember when they said that? It came out, said it. CDC said it. Asymptomatic. Even I believe Fauci even said that masks are not required. But nonetheless, they're pushing this mask thing. Pushing this hysteria to cover your face, right? And saying now that this is right up there with censorship, requiring people in a civilized nation like the U.S. to cover their faces without any scientific reality to why. When you look at it, it makes it worse. All that, the handling, how one handles the mask, how it puts it on. Give us some real facts. If you want to declare it a thing that is protective for people, then give us the facts. Give us the actual evidence, not the propaganda. Because most people, 95% of people, don't know how to handle a surgical mask without infecting themselves. Every time they retouch their face, they're doing the exact thing that they shouldn't be doing, which is transmitting anything that's on your hands or in the environment to your face. Your face is pretty good, right? You got eyelids, it covers your eyeballs, right? You got hair in your nose and snot in your nose that catches bugs. We're equipped for this stuff. We are humanly equipped to fend off most viral attacks and bacteria. Just don't follow the rules. Don't touch your face. Wash your hands. Keep your hands clean. Stay away from sick people. It's not too hard to do. It's the same that we've always been doing. It's just now we have to be a little more vigilant because we have this mysterious COVID-19 thing, whether it's an attack or a bug or a virus that slipped out of a factory. Who knows? Right? People did get sick. Some people did die. That's for sure. Any more than a common virus or common flu? No, there's no evidence of that. But nonetheless, better safe than sorry. So now the Surgeon General, Mr. Jerome Adams, has said the best way to protect yourself and your community is with everyday preventive actions like stay at home. No, that's not an option. Stay at home. That's fucking retarded. That's like saying it's as simplistic as telling a fat person don't eat, or don't cross the street and you won't get hit by a car. That's better. Don't cross the street and you won't get hit by a car. Well, I have to cross the street because I have to get to the other side. It's just a stupid statement, right? Stay home. Stay home. For when? To who? To how? How long? Forever? Stay home? Forever? Like, stay home when you're sick. Oh, all right. I jumped to the conclusion. Sorry about that. Like, stay home when you are sick. Okay. All right, we agree. Stay home when you're sick. Wash your hands with soap and water. But they are saying stay at home. They're still yakking that one. Stay at home. Stay at home. Stay at home. With soap and water. Use soap and water. Help slow down the spread of respiratory illnesses. Get a flu shot. Yeah, right here. Take this flu shot. Stick it up your ass. Fewer flu patients. More resources for COVID-19. So the point I'm trying to make here is that every one of our astute authorities have flipped. The CDC, Center for Disease Control, has flipped completely. The WHO, the World Health Organization, has flipped as well. The only ones who haven't really flipped is Pence, Trump. They're kind of firm on, you don't really need the mask. We're not wearing masks. You see us wearing a mask. But for the most part, our authorities or Fauci screaming from the rooftops, get a vaccine. Nothing can open until we have the vaccine. Is pompous and retarded and dangerous to one's health, because when people start to ingest their own carbon dioxide for a long time, and start to increase their own cortisone levels or cortiside levels, whatever that word is. And then decrease their own immune system, are you going to pay, they're now more susceptible because of your advice, your professional advice. What else we got here? So, yeah, in a U-turn, U.S. Surgeon General asks CDC to see if face masks can prevent coronavirus spread after all. So, America's top doctor appears to have softened his stance. No, he changed his stance, CNBC, over the effectiveness of face masks when it comes to preventing the spread of coronavirus. U.S. Surgeon General Jerome Adams had initially advised against the general public wearing face masks, saying they were not effective in preventing people from contracting COVID-19 and amplifying the risk of healthcare providers being unable to get them. Seriously, people, stop wearing masks, Adams said in February 29. They are not effective in preventing general public from catching coronavirus. But if health providers can't get them to care for sick patients, it puts them and our communities at risk. Well, that was back in the days where the hospitals got hit so hard they didn't have enough masks on hand until people started making masks. And now we have so many masks, you don't know what to do with them all. Right? They're like fucking $50 for $10 or 50 for 50 cents. They're like a penny a mask now, right? Well, they're giving them away. Why would you buy masks? You could walk around. Just walk onto the subway without a mask and someone's going to hand you one. Somebody, sir, would you like a mask? Or you're walking, really, that's the way New York is. However, Adams told NBC's Today show on Wednesday that he has now asked the Center for Disease Control and Prevention to investigate whether this recommendation should change. So the bottom line, again, they don't fucking know. Right? They don't know. Well, they do know, and for some reason, some idiot in a white, in a hall of important people said, let them wear masks for whatever reason. Conformity, fucking subordination, just because we said so. Right? I'm the boss, you're the horse, toe the party line. They don't even know. Right? They don't even know, right? But to say that someone should wear a surgical mask, by the way, who sneezes into a fucking mask? If you're wearing a mask and you got to sneeze or cough, you cough into a mask? Hell fucking no. You take that shit off. You walk away from people and you cough into like something that's going to go back in your pocket or into your elbow or right out into the open if nobody's around. Well, who the fuck coughs? How is that preventive? I would never cough. That's like fucking polluting yourself. It's so stupid. It's just stupid medical advice when you study biology and biochemistry and you realize how fucking stupid it is. So I said all that. Are we still here? Are we still live? Are we allowed to say that? Are we allowed to have an opinion anymore? Is it possible to actually speak one's mind and still be allowed to speak? My God. No yielding. We don't yield. I don't fucking yield in this life. Right? You keep going. You speak the truth. If the truth is the truth and you don't like it, that's your problem. And we do it so everybody can see your actions. See, that's how you fight back. That's how you fight back. Fantastic, man. Thank you very much. Fine medium, 24 minutes, and we're still on as if we're doing this for nothing. As if we're, as if you're doing us a favor by being here. As if I'm doing you a favor by being here. You're doing me a favor. Somebody's doing somebody a favor. So,
the things I miss the most.
I'm done with this guy. All right, so you, Surgeon General, face mask, blah blah blah. Who cares? So the racists. Let's talk about this. Let's flip. So they're tearing down the statues. What was once a reasonable argument made that police brutality in this country is bad, and that it disproportionately targets poor people and people of color, is valid, is clear, is statistically proven, right? And that's okay, right? But now to say that all of our history is racist, George Washington, racist, burn him, is lunacy. Where does it stop? Who can get through these thick skulls that are out there knocking down statues, knocking down George Washington, setting George fucking Washington's face on fire? What, are you kidding me? What, are you kidding me? What is this? This is fucking people. Look at this. They're setting George Washington's head. They put a flag around George Washington, set his head on fire. There's another bunch of idiots knocking down a statue in the dark. I don't want to listen to this shit. Burning flags. Burning flags. Come on, man. You made your point. Keep the focus. Focus on the police. You're doing good. You won that war. Why do you got to denigrate? Why do you got to denigrate everybody else's shit? Right? Why do you got to do that? Right? You attacked the Antifa fucks. They attacked the oligarchs here in New York. They bashed shit out of their windows. Good for them. Good move. We support you. But why? Let's listen. Let's read. Protesters in Portland, Oregon. Portland, Oregon, just like Seattle. Chasville 2, Portland, Oregon, wrapped the statue of George Washington in an American flag, lit it on fire, then pulled it down Thursday night, according to a report. Demonstrators toppled the towering bronze sculpture of the first U.S. president who owned slaves in 1700. I mean, everybody owned slaves. In the 1700s, they all did. I mean, the plantation owners, that was the engine of production. It was slave ownership. It's not just Democrats. It's not just Republicans. It's also Whigs. The Whigs at the time had slaves. They all owned slaves, and that was the essence of the Civil War, where they divided. But so just because they blame the Confederates for holding their ground, and they forgive the North for allowing slaves to be free in the North. Although that didn't happen immediately, there was still a lot of unfree slaves in the North well after the Civil War, but they forgive the North, but they refuse to forgive the South. Now they're the Confederates, but now everybody, all of American history is polluted. They're all racist, every one of them. George fucking Washington, where next? Jefferson, the founders of the country, the founding fathers who established the Constitution of the United States of America, are now all going to be victimized by a bunch of racists. Okay, time to stop. Time out, guys. You're going down the wrong avenue. Right? Stick with the shit. Right? The shit was fucking. What was the shit? The shit was police brutality. Yes, you're winning. You're winning. The police are divesting. They're defunded. They're not bashing heads. You walk around New York, you don't see them anymore. It's wonderful. You won. You won that argument. Keep going until you nail it down. All right. So good morning, everybody in the chat. Marcus Conte reporting. Thank you, everybody. Who's here? Everybody's here. Thank you for being here. The powers that be would like to see us go away. And they may just knock this stream down soon. I don't know. But we're still here, right? Anna B. Bebop. Camo Masso, Mike Milk is here. Cytoplasmic Nanobot is here. Harkview Cinema's here. Jim Steele, Liz Rivard. Liz, I sent you your stickers. They're on the way up in Canada. Michael Greer, No Censorship is here. No Censorship. Yeah, man. And Rob F. Served 111. Steve Collins. That what? Thomas Robinson, my brother from a different mother. Love your commentary, Thomas Robinson. Vinny D. Martini on the wrench. Wrench, don't be a dick in the chat, and you will not get timed out for 5 minutes. If you are a dick, you will have to sit there for 5 minutes and twiddle your thumbs and suck ass. Stop being a dick. And Vanderloo, Weevil Boy is actually a girl. So thanks everybody for sharing. Thanks everybody for being here. So where are we now? Oh, low. Good morning. How we doing? Yeah, we're still here. It looks like we're still alive. This is what I look at, right? This is the kind of like a back end thing, but it's not always accurate. And I don't know. Sometimes the chat moves. Sometimes like the chat isn't moving right now on this one, but the chat is moving on another one on mine. Oh yeah, maybe it is moving. Yeah, it is moving. It's moving slow. But this is how I see the stats. And sometimes it'll freeze right here, and that's how I see it. I see how long we've been online. I can see how many people are watching. This stuff is all that's just for stuff that you pile into the other software to make it stream. Well, that's how we do it. So when this thing freezes, I know I'm not always looking at it. That's the point, right? I'm not always on that page. If I'm not looking at it, I can continue to keep talking. So. And not be here, not actually be live. So anyway, what do we think here? I mean, is it cool to knock down the spray painting the words "fuck the cops," the Big Floyd on the statue's base? That's what they're doing over there. Portland police arrived later, but it wasn't immediately clear if any arrests were made. So they're turning their back on it. The police, that's their new strategy. Oh yeah, you don't like us? Great. We'll let the vandals. We'll promote the vandals. We'll allow them to destroy everybody and everything. That's not a good strategy. That's a half-ass selfish strategy. All we're saying is that we don't need 2 police officers, or 20,000 police officers for 10,000 protesters. We don't need that. We don't need helicopters and rubber bullets and tear gas. We need to listen to what the hell protesters are saying, and when they're wrong, we can promptly correct them. In the beginning, they were very right. Disproportionately black people were being shot in the street, shot in the back, choked out, over and over and over again, and nobody listened to them. And now you fucking listen. Now they're listening, right? What's You know what I mean? Re-education in this country. Right? We don't teach civics. All we teach is corporate propaganda through the mainstream media. The corporately owned media promotes this stuff. They don't even want education anymore. If you asked, I bet if you asked the 1 million billionaires, or however many billionaires in this country, the 1% of the population, if they think community education for the masses is a good thing, they'd probably tell you no. Now, if you ask them, should our children be educated at the finest schools? Oh, yeah, of course. But for the vast majority of people, they like to keep you ignorant and stupid and just slaves. That would be an interesting study. If you can find an off-the-record survey of billionaires and what their position is on public education. They always say, oh, yeah, public education is good for, smart populace is a smart populace, is a good country, but I don't think they believe that. I think that that their actions speak louder than words. They don't invest as much in. I mean, they philanthropize or whatever, give money to schools so they can get their name on a building. But for the most part, they dump their money into mainstream media. That's where the shit is, right? That's where they put their dough, yo. They put their dough into the mainstream media. They own shit. Amazon owns fucking stuff. They own what do they own? They own something. They own CNN, right? Fucking come on, man. They all these mainstream media organizations are owned by somebody. Billionaire. Yeah, so and here's some more propaganda. New York Post. Love New York Post for your propaganda. Thank you very much. I got to check if we're still here. Let me just check if we're still here. Let me see if I see a whirling ball. Oh, wow, we are still here. I can't believe it. I feel so privileged. I feel honored. I feel honored to have been 30 minutes into a live stream speaking one's opinion and gathering your opinions as well, and still being allowed to speak. Wow. Wow. This is awesome, man. What a great country, man. What a fucking great country we are living in. So shootings surge in New York City amid disbanding of New York NYPD's plainclothes anti-crime unit. So New York City got NYPD got defunded by $1 billion off their $5 or $6 billion a year. So they lost $1 billion, and they what they did was they knocked out the plainclothes anti-crime unit, as I understand it. And so now that they did that, shootings are surging this week in New York City, with 28 incidences and 38 victims reported since Monday, the day the NYPD disbanded its plainclothes anti-crime unit. So they're saying that there's a spike in shootings. You know what you do? Go back. All right, this is a move in the right direction. Demilitarize the police. Great. That's a start. Now you have to arm the citizenry. Go back to the Second Amendment. It was there when you started this bullshit. Now go back to it. Just retreat back to the right to bear arms, and you will see the cowards run away. More guns doesn't mean more shootings. More guns means less cowards shooting people. Right? The bad guys, when all the bad guys, anybody shooting a gun, anybody in the projects firing off a handgun, the handgun is illegal. It's only there because one of the brothers went down to Virginia or somewhere, or Pennsylvania, and bought themselves a gun and brought it back, squirreled it back up their ass on the bus. I sat with it up their ass on the bus, and then gets to the projects and starts shooting people because he's selling drugs, and he doesn't want homeboy number 2 over there selling drugs in the same building, or on the same stoop, or in the same playground. That's what that's all about. Right? So you arm your citizenry, right? Arm the people in the projects, right? So grandma's packing heat, when grandma's walking by the drug dealers, and she's got a piece on a belly. Right? She's got a belly piece, right? A belly fucking shooter, right? A little fucking 2-shooter, right? That's how you do it, man. Second Amendment, right? I didn't make it up. It's in the Constitution. Read the Constitution. So NYPD and the New York Post are touting shootings surge in New York City. So what is your solution? Your solution is to go back to the basics. We've lost our way. All right? Go back to the basics. Arm the citizens. All right? Everybody has a gun. Fucking pass them out. I remember there was an old TV show. I don't know if you remember it, but All in the Family. Right? It was considered racist at the time, with Archie Bunker and his wife Edith and Michael the meathead and his wife. And Archie Bunker said he was on the show. He was at work or something, and and the news interviewed him. Right, so he's sitting in his chair in his house, and the news back in the day, you didn't have YouTubes. You could, if you missed it, you missed it. So he's watching TV, waiting to see what he said and how he said it, and he says in the interview, he says, well, the interviewer asks him, how would you solve the problem of terrorists on a plane? Right? One terrorist just pulling out a weapon and chopping people up and hijacking the plane. And Archie Bunker said, it's easy. Just pass out the pistols before people get on. Right? Everybody's got a pistol, and you just shoot the guy when he gets up. I mean, that's a little ignorant statement, because if you shoot a hole in the window, everybody dies, right, on a plane. Or blast a hole in the wall, but you see what I'm saying. On a bus or in a, on a subway, or just a couple of smart young people, right? Fucking the kids that they hire to go to the army and shoot terrorists or kill others, right? I love when a bunch of law-abiding, good, outstanding kids have guns, right? And shit breaks out, man. I'm fucking guys, get them, shoot them, fucking right? They're on your side. Why in the cities do people vilify a gun-holding person as being bad? That is so bizarre. When you analyze it, you say to yourself, here's the Second Amendment, right to bear arms, And here's a law-abiding citizen, or just a citizen who gives a shit about whatever. He's a citizen, and he has a gun on his side. Why are you afraid of the person? Why? You know what I mean? Like because you're a psychopath, or you grew up in a culture where people shoot each other for no reason, or the cowards shoot the innocent people because we've lost our way with the Second Amendment. So that's all I'm trying to say there. Right? So anyway, are we still here? Yeah, I guess we're still here. Yeah, it looks like we're still here. How do you know? There we go. Wow. So that's that one. What else we got? So this is interesting. I think Muhammad Ali agrees. Muhammad Ali's son says, "Dad would have hated racist Black Lives Matter." Ooh, wow. Ooh, Ali's kid, right? Who even knew he had a son? I wonder if he boxes. I bet he does. So Muhammad Ali Jr. says Black Lives Matter movement is racist. Let's see. On the 4th anniversary of his death, Muhammad Ali's only biological son says that his father would be against Black Lives Matter, calling the movement racist and the protesters devils. Well, let's see. I don't completely agree with that. And let's see if we see what else he says. The legendary boxer and activist stood up against racism throughout his life, but Muhammad Ali Jr. says his dad would have been sickened by how the protesters have turned to violence and looting after the death of George Floyd. I don't know. I don't think so. I think Muhammad Ali probably would have said, right, the rules, here's the deal, right? In the 60s and the 70s or in the 80s, wherever, when Ali was king, when Muhammad Ali was something of a phenomenon, people listened to him, it was a different time. Right? Violence and looting were frowned upon, maybe unnecessary, but now we're in a time where the establishment has officially stopped listening and orders you to be compliant or else. Respectfully, Muhammad Ali Jr., I think you're a little astray on that, right? On that point, I think you're behind the times. Don't bust up shit, he said. Don't trash the place, he told the Post. You can peacefully protest. Well, they tried that. They've been trying peaceful protests for years, and more the coffin of blacks getting shot in the back and choked out got higher and higher, and they had enough. So now they start breaking your shit, and what happened? Everybody started to listen. They started to finally listen, and reform is in the air. Revolution, maybe. My father would have said, quote, they ain't nothing but devils, my father said. All lives matter. I don't think he'd agree. Well, I agree with that. All lives matter. Of the Black Lives Matter movement, Ali Jr., a Muslim, like his father said, I think it's racist. Again, I don't think you can broad stroke the whole thing as racist, but parts of it clearly. I think it's evolving into a very racist movement. It's not just Black Lives Matter. White lives matter. Ooh, I thought that's racist to say that. White lives matter? Really? Do they? Chinese lives matter. All lives matter. Everyone's life matters. God loves everyone. He never singled out anyone out. He never singled anyone out. Killing is wrong no matter who it is, Ali said during an hour-long interview with the Post. Oh, well, I agree with that. We definitely agree with that all lives matter, especially Chinese lives right now. God damn it, stop bashing the Chinese in this country, right? With ignorance, fucking ignorance. All Asians are carrying the bug, right? Thank God George Webb got kicked off saying that shit, bringing fucking, transmitting the bug, transmitting COVID-19 to China, trying to blame the U.S. for it. All bunch of idiots. On police brutality, Ali defended law enforcement in general. Police don't wake up and think, I'm going to kill a Negro today or kill a white man, he said. I'm just reading. I didn't say the word. I'm just reading. It's N-R. You fill it in. Today or kill a white man. He said the N-word. They're just trying to make it back home to their family in one piece. I totally disagree with that. I've heard this before. Police, they're just trying to make it back home to their family in one piece. If that's your motivation to being a cop, if all it is about a paycheck, then surrender the badge. Put it down, put the uniform, fold it up, hang your hat on the wall like I did, hang it up, and visit it every once in a while, and walk away if that's how you feel. Because that's not what policing is about. It's not just getting a paycheck, and hoping that you come back in one piece. It's about community service. That's what it's supposed to be about. That's the oath you take. You don't take an oath to come back in one piece. You take an oath to support the people, to uphold law and order and the community. Right? Put yourself in front of it. Speaking of Floyd's killing at the knee of a white Minneapolis police officer, Ali said, quote, "The officer was wrong with killing that person, but people don't realize there was more footage than what they showed. The guy resisted arrest. The officer was doing his job, but he used the wrong tactic. He was doing the wrong job using the wrong tactic. It doesn't matter that he was resisting arrest. He didn't murder someone. He fell asleep on line at Wendy's because Wendy's was closed to foot traffic. He got in a car and he was a little tipsy and fell asleep. He didn't kill anybody. The guy fell asleep in his car. The guy fell asleep in his car, and that was his crime. And that's why the police, and you say the police are doing their job? Oh my fucking God. How do you miss that point, right? How do you miss it, right? He agrees with Trump. He agrees with President Trump that Antifa fomented violence during the Floyd protests. Oh, we already talked about that. They did it for a reason. There's no difference from Muslim terrorists. Wow. He says, this is Ali's kid saying, they're no different from Muslim terrorists. They should all get what they deserve. They're fucked up. They're fucking up businesses, beating up innocent people in the neighborhood, smashing up police stations and shops. They're terrorists. They're terrorizing the community. I agree with the peaceful protests, but the Antifa, they need to kill everyone in that. They need to kill everyone in that thing. He's saying kill Antifa. All right. And there he is, the darling little boy. The darling. He looks puny. He doesn't look like the father. He inherited the genes of his mama. Mama. Black Lives Matter is not a peaceful protest. Antifa never wanted it peaceful. I would take them all out. Ooh, fighting words. Fighting words. A father of two, Ali, 47. Ali, 47. Lives in Hallenbrook, Florida, and has struggled to make ends meet in recent years, working as a landscape gardener and construction worker. Wow, what a fucking tragedy. His father was so wealthy and so well known that he didn't even get around to leaving his kids a trust fund. Talk about mismanagement. Talk about getting robbed. Ali got robbed. Well, unless he's a crackhead, unless the kid's a crackhead. Smoked it all away, shot it up. He's previously said he gets only a $1,000 monthly allowance from his father's estimated $6 million estate. $60 million estate. What the hell is that all about? He gets $12,000 a year and the estate's $60 million? Wow. This guy got screwed. He doesn't have a real lawyer. He needs to get a couple of Habibs on his side, a couple of Hasids, a couple of JOOs. The greatest had 9 children. Oh, there's a lot of kids. 9 children. 8 daughters and an adopted son. Assam Hamid with 4 wives. So Ali spread his seed, man. So whatever. Who gives a shit, right? So mixed opinions on what the kid said. I respect his opinion, saying it. I just fundamentally disagree how this thing worked out. It only worked out because Antifa took the lead and started smashing stuff and made people aware of who the target really is. So we have to salute them in doing that. So So here's Pence, right? Pence never says a word in this whole 4 minutes. I'm not going to play the
So
whole
you
thing.
asked to share what's on our heart. So I'm going to do
So Pence is in some kind of thing, asked repeatedly to say Black Lives Matter. Mike Pence, the vice president, says all lives matter. Right? Pence refuses to get stuck into that pigeonhole because a bunch of racist blacks demand that he say it. I don't get that shit. Right? The news is he won't say Black Lives Matter as if that's news. It's like, no, I say what I want to say. What comes out of my mouth is for me to decide, not for you to decide, says Mike Pence. So there's this whole bullshit right here, this whole bullshit interview.
Exactly.
Pastors
It's a mix of emotions.
grilling
But the
Pence.
one that's at the top is, I'm tired. I am mentally, physically, and spiritually tired. I grew up in the Hill District, which at that time was one of the poorest neighborhoods in Pittsburgh. And God bless me. I'm not going to go into a pity party. God has truly blessed me, and everything that I
So what basically it is Pence sitting there with his hands folded. He doesn't say anything. He doesn't move. He absorbs the whole thing. Vice President Mike Pence declined to say the words "Black Lives Matter," says CNN, during an interview with an ABC affiliate in Pennsylvania on Friday, instead saying all lives matter. Good. Let me just say that what happened to George Floyd, this is Pence speaking, was a tragedy. When asked directly if he would say that Black Lives Matter, quote, and in this nation, especially on Juneteenth, I guess that was yesterday, the anniversary of slavery or the abolishment of slavery, we celebrate the fact that from the founding of this nation, we've cherished the ideal that all of us are equal, are created equal and endowed by our Creator with certain inalienable rights. And so all lives matter in a very real sense. That's the founding fathers, right? That's what they said, right? They're tearing down fucking Lincoln. Abraham Lincoln, thinking about knocking Lincoln, the guy who proclamated the slaves, taking down his shit too. So it's racism. It's what it is. It clearly is. I mean, there's no other way to say it, right? I mean, I've had so many encounters with Black America in New York City, in work situations where the racism is off the chart. They think that you're required to bow and knee because of this perceived privilege, this perceived unknowingness of blacks. How dare you? Right? How dare you, white person, get in front of the black online? How dare you not acknowledge that black lives matter? And to say that all lives matter is to denigrate the black life. This is sick. If you're in an environment like that and you actually have a mouth and a brain that still works, you're gonna engage. You're gonna engage people. That's what I did. And look at me now. I'm fucking out on the street, literally talking to people out on the street. So how we doing? Are we still alive? Hey, yeah, look at that. We're still twisting, man. Thank you, YouTube. I appreciate it. YouTube is wonderful today. YouTube is being wonderful today. We are officially 53 minutes in, and I am still talking to you and not talking to myself for a change. It was not a technical error, trust me. I saw the screen go blank. It was just like it got yanked. The day before, it was clear. Censorship. They censored it out because they say I said something that I still don't know what I said because they don't tell you. And then the next day cut, and today so far we're good. So just keep plugging, man. Just keep plugging. So I was out in the park yesterday, and this whole rally thing is getting so tiring. I can't even get off my ass to cover it anymore because it's boring. But I did listen to this woman rant, saying about, I believe she was talking about the N-word. I didn't realize that that's what she was saying when she said it, and I only listened to it on the replay. But listen to what she's saying.
Really annoying when I check people that live in New York and they never experienced a black experience, and I check them and I tell them, you cannot say that word. It's really
She's talking about being a black person and the black experience, and telling whites you cannot say that word.
annoying that they say Oh, but I grew up around in this neighborhood. I don't give a shit. Okay? I don't care if you grew up in Harlem in a project and you're white. You do not say that word. I don't care if you're white, Hispanic. You do not say that word. If your skin is not black, lighter, like maybe a shade lighter than mine, or like dark than charcoal, do not say that word because that word's not for you. Okay?
That word's not for
There's
you.
Oh, but it's normal.
I think she's talking about the N-word. That word is not for you. That word's not for you, white people. And the same imagery still. All cops are bastards. Black Lives Matter. I was behind them. I couldn't even stomach getting in front of these people anymore, because it's now it's just a rah-rah. The antagonists are gone, and for the most part, what they're saying just falls on deaf ears.
Okay, but not all norms are okay. So, I need you to let your friends who are not black.
You gotta love the camera though. Ooh, look how close you get. You don't even have to get near people anymore. I love it. No justice. Oh, that guy's got dandruff. Oh, dandruff.
Everybody, thank you for coming out.
Yeah, thank you too. Thank you very much for so here's some more footage. Just no justice, no peace. Washington Square Park. I mean, the obvious thing is the rallies are a fraction of what they were. I would put maybe a couple of hundred people at 4 o'clock. At the peak of the rally, a couple of hundred. When weeks ago, 2 weeks ago, a week and a half ago, there was tens of thousands. There was 20,000 people in Washington Square Park. Maybe another, 10,000 at the same time in Brooklyn. There was tens of thousands of people rambling around the street. It's really since watered down. What do we want it? What do we want? What's that sign? What's that sign? Jews? That's a good sign. Let's see. Let's analyze that one. Jews. Oh, Jews for Black Lives Matter. There's a Jew in the crowd. Same messaging, same stuff. Lemons. How we doing? I keep checking to see if it's still here. I guess we're still here. You can hear the birds. Mostly white people, notice? A lot of young white chicks. If you like white chicks, go to a Black Lives Matter concert. Pick up white chicks. By any means necessary. I like that. That's a good sign. While she holds her $600 phone in the other hand. At any means. As she goes back to her cubicle and works for the oligarchs, and fails to make the connection between the money and the consequence. This is a result of oligarchy. It's not a result of systemic racism and all that stuff. Look at all the white. Look how much white skin. White kids. Tattoo chicks. There's the brother speaking. Hey, he looks white. Bro, you're not black enough for the microphone. Pass that shit to a black man. Pass that shit to a black man. Revolution is upon us. Ooh, that was a good sign. Revolution is upon us. Oh, look, a Chinese. You could tell an Asian by the eyes. This is my buddy right here. I hang out with this guy all the time. This is Justin. Got a good voice. I play guitar with this guy all the time. I'm a better guitar player than he is, but he's got a great voice, and we jam. We talk we jam all the time. I'm in the park with this guy every other day, and we're friends. His name is Justin. Defund the NYPD. Defund. So you get the gist of it, right? So I was out there and all that shit. Right? So let's talk about, let's flip to censorship. In the final analysis, this is probably when we'll get cut off, right? Because you can't talk about this shit. But we're going to try. So executive order on preventing online censorship. You remember when Trump signed this on May 28th? How's it working out, right? He says, Trump's fundamental error is that he says it targets conservatives. It targets anybody with a variance of opinion to the mainstream media. That's what it is, right? How do we define censorship? It's like stay away from targeting people for speech. Right? So just in general, Trump made this incredible, proclamation of, by the authority vested in me as president, by the Constitution and the laws of America, it is hereby ordered as follows. Free speech is the bedrock of American democracy. Our founding fathers protected this sacred right with the First Amendment of the Constitution. The freedom to express and debate ideas is the foundation of all our rights as a free people. Well said. In a country that has long cherished the freedom of expression, we cannot allow a limited number of online platforms to handpick the speech that Americans may access and convey on the internet. This practice is fundamentally un-American and anti-democratic. When large, powerful social media companies censor opinions with which they disagree, they exercise a dangerous power. They cease functioning as a passive bulletin board and ought to be viewed and treated as content creators. Ooh. The growth of online platforms in recent years raised important questions about applying the ideal of the First Amendment to the modern communications technology. Today, many Americans follow the news, stay in touch with friends and family, and share their views on current events through social media and other online platforms. As a result, these platforms function in many ways as a 21st century equivalent of the public square. Now, this is not new argument, Mr. Trump. It's been going on. We've been talking about this for years and years and years, but there's no breaking point, right? Until people with Black Lives Matter and Antifa, at least they started to break stuff. They had enough. They're like, okay, there's enough dead bodies to start breaking shit. At what point do people start breaking shit about censorship? Because again, nothing changes. If you're going to play patty cake with a billionaire class, even Trump, if you think you're going to play patty cake with them, it ain't going to work. It's got to be grassroots. It's got to be people saying, okay, enough. All out boycott of YouTube and move on to something else. Could be one of them, or showing up at CNN and making shit happen, right? Who knows? So, was this effective is what I wanted to say about this. Was Trump's executive order to prevent online censorship effective? It's now June 20. He did it on May 28. It's not too long ago. It was 3 weeks ago. He put this proclamation out, this executive order out. And has it had any effect? Hell fucking no, it hasn't had any effect. It hasn't had any effect. In my view, where can I see the effect? I'm still, me of all people, just some little guy in his room, in his mother's basement, with a microphone, and I get censored. Why? What did I say? Who do I control? How many people do I control? A couple hundred people that like to hear the truth. Why are you targeting me for? I didn't make up Russiagate. That's CNN. Go after CNN for making up a fake story about Russia. Go after Jerome, whatever his name is, Jerome Adams, for making up a fake story about masks. What are you attacking me for? What? For telling the truth about what's going on in the hospitals, what's going on online with terrorists, trolls, and these cocksuckers that chase you around? What am I doing? I'm just telling the truth, right? That's all I do, right? That's what I do. I go out into the world. I go like this. I go like this. I go and I see which way the wind is blowing. I go like this, and I see which way the wind is blowing. Which way that's a bullshit detector. Right? It gets cold when bullshit blows at you. Right? You tell how the wind is blowing. Bullshit wind. That's all you do. Right? It's truth. So I don't see any truth coming out of the. So let's talk about this clown, right? Clown on the left. These are two brothers. If you're not familiar with these guys, they are brothers. They are real people. George Webb Swaggart and Dave Acton Swaggart. Dave D. George Swaggart. This idiot on the right is his older brother, and he can screws his name to be D. George Swaggart, so that when he puts out bullshit online and makes fake lawsuits, his brother gets blamed for him, and that's his rationale in his own words. So anyway, so the point of this, if you want to read this article, it's I wrote this a while ago. I'll drop the link in here if you want to read it. And this is my assessment of what's going on with these two clowns. But clown on the right, Swaggart, this is the guy that I reported to the FBI for trying to tie me into a bombing plot in Corpus Christi, and it turns out that he may have been involved in an actual drone attack in Port Neches, and he was reported to the FBI for that, and a lot of other things. Hundreds of insane allegations about myself and tens of other people, maybe 12, 15 other people that he's attacked. But the latest reason why we're even talking about this idiot is that his brother, when his brother accused Matea Benassi of being COVID-19 patient 0, Webb basically turns the woman's life upside down. Right? And then so you could read this article. There's also Schoenberger, that this guy is criminal level stalker. Right? We hope that Swaggart, D. George Swaggart, will someday have the same status as Schoenberger as a criminal stalker. We just haven't gotten there yet, but we're working on it. Right? He's a full-time guy, and he's being sued as well. But the news, that's not the news right now. Right now, it's status quo. The news is that George Webb and his 4,000 videos, George Webb, the conspiracy theorist with 4,000 videos and allegedly 100,000 subscribers, has been deleted. His account has been deleted. Look at this. This account has been terminated, and if you don't think it's George Webb, watch, I'll show you. Here's my my subscriptions, right? And these are all the people that I watch, everybody here. Now I'll give you my subscription list, right? But we'll find George Webb. Here he is. See, I'm clicking on George Webb. And when I go to George Webb, this account has been terminated due to multiple or severe violations of YouTube's policy prohibiting content designed to harass, bully, or threaten. Now, Schoenberger has been deleted 10 times, 5 that I know of accounts on YouTube for harassment, bully, and threatening. Acton, Swaggart, D. George Swaggart, the crazy Dave guy, is pretty much gone as well. So all these guys are off, but the big prize for YouTube now is this censorship. It raises the question: did George Swaggart? What is censorship and what is harassment? Harassment is what the crazy Dave guy does, where he targets people and makes countless videos, 5-minute videos, countless stupid articles. I'll give you an example. Let's just go there just for shits and giggles. Let's go to the Crazy Dave's propaganda website, and we'll see what he has today for us. All right. So here he is talking. He's defending somebody, defending gay. He's defending. I don't fucking know. But here he is attacking Jason Goodman again, harassing. Discrimination and defamation is one thing, but harassment is a continuation of advancing on someone when they don't want to be advanced on. When they don't, shut the fuck up, go away, you psychopath. That's when someone does that to you and you tell them, get the fuck away from me, you creep. Right? Over and over again, countless times, and the creep keeps coming at you. That's what George Swaggart D. George Swaggart is. And here he is. Compromised sexual perversion and police fetish series. What? Jason Goodman and alleged homosexual lover George Webb Swaggart. Two darling man children to apparently usher in United Nations police force. Right? So this is what the guy does. Right? This is D. George Swaggart talking about Jason Goodman and his brother. Right? Right? That they're two homos. Right? They're gay. He's got gay porn. That's gay porn right there. Two homosexuals in gay porn. Right? This is who the guy is. Right? And so it goes on and on, I guess, to frame Goodman as a homosexual lover of George Webb. Now, why is that even newsable? Why is there a whole article devoted towards Jason Goodman and his homosexual preference, being his homosexual preference with his brother? And is Dave Acton even homosexual? Because there is a rumor, if you look at his pictures, he looks like the homosexual. Is he the homosexual? I bet he is. He's the homosexual. But the point is, like, why does this guy spend so much fucking time? So anyway, that's the breaking news. Breaking news is that George Webb's website is gone. Hopefully never to come back. Is he going to come back in another life? Well, that's technically against the rules. When you get cut off, they cut off all his little side channels too. So maybe we're turning a corner with all this, right? Are we still here? Are we allowed to talk about censorship? Yeah, I guess I'm still here, man. I am very, very privileged. I'm a privileged motherfucker today to be able to continue to speak on behalf of all you fine people. So thank you all for sharing, and that's really all I got today. And it's a beautiful day outside. It's Saturday in New York, and you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? So Marcus Conte reporting. This. What do we gotta get? Give me this. Ooh. Oh yeah. So thank you everybody in the chat. Thank you very much everybody for joining me on this wonderful Saturday. And BB Bob, Camo Masso, Chris Milk is here. Kristen Lifetime, New York City, Diligent Escape, Parkview Cinema, JB, Johnny B. Good, Liz Rivard, Severed 1100, Severed 1100. And that what? Thomas Robinson, Tobacco Road, Jeff on the wrench in the house. Thank you, Jeff, for your moderation. Vinny D. Martini, thank you so much for your moderation as well. And Vanderloo is here. Are we flashing? Are we buffering? Are we buffering? I'm seeing red. Thank you guys. Thank you everybody. I'm going to try to get out of this in one piece. Peace, everybody. Have a good day.